Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope the guys are doing well. Thanks for joining in today. We've got a few updates to talk about today. So first up, as you're looking at right now, we have a new locomotive. This is our number 3. So we have the 060. Let's see. This is the S23 switcher. So definitely the highest factor of adhesion of any locomotive on the game. Not a lot of weight though, so our tractive effort is a bit low, but it is all good. So this is our locomotive to do the switching here in East Whittier. That includes the run up to the log branch with the skeleton cars, as well as switching out the sawmill. I did also decide that because of the volume of cars that come in and out of the mill every day, we'll go ahead and ship these cars every day to the interchange yard, as well as deliver them. So this will be the one industry that we do that with. It also makes sense since it's right here and it's really close to the interchange. But we also have another piece of new equipment. So as you can see, quite a bit of freight today. Actually, we have 2 pieces of equipment. So yesterday I bought this is a 70-ton hopper. It is currently loaded with 82.5 tons of coal. It's all good. This will be for our coaling tower in Bryce. And then I have now a 3rd passenger car. This looks like kind of like it's like a roomette, almost like a half sleeper kind of thing. It is a heavyweight, so it's got the 3 axle trucks there. And this will now make our 3rd passenger car. So now we can carry 194 passengers on any one of our trains. And this will be the first episode where we have a dedicated passenger train. So for now, that train is going to run with the tinny. And then once I get a little bit more money over the next couple of days, I'm actually going to trade this guy in for the next level up of the tin wheel, the T21. I have looked at this locomotive. It does look fantastic. The reason I'm going to trade is because it's not too much more expensive. It still has decent stats. It's going to be obviously better than what I have, but the real big move is because it's got more water. Not a huge amount more, but still. Considering that last time I ran this locomotive, I got to the watering tower with less than 100 gallons to go. Every gallon counts. So, and that was a bit risky, but you know what? It was fun anyways. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get our car sorted. We're going to leave everything here except the stuff that's going with us to either Whittier or Ella and Bryson. I will say that normally any car going to Whittier would also be left here for the switcher to deal with. However, this particular spur is off the main, so it would make more sense to just switch it ourselves. And then we'll put the passenger train together and we will set up a nice little meet for the passenger train to get by us. I'll most likely do that in Ella. All right, I'll see you guys in just a bit. I'm going to go ahead and get some things organized, and we'll see you probably over in Whittier. To decide, I would go ahead and get the switcher moving on our first run of log cars here. I do currently like the whistle I chose for this one. I chose one that specifically was not necessarily super powerful. It's not the weakest of all the whistles that I heard, but it's not the strongest either. So, good little balance, I think. All right, we are going to go ahead here and get all of our sawmill set outs off to the side here. We're going to leave them on track number 2 in the little interchange yard we have in East Whittier. And this will allow the switcher to come in later when he's got some time and get these guys set out. As long as we deliver them today, we'll get the bonus. So we definitely will be doing that, which is nice. Wrong direction. Sorry about that. There we go. Let's get backwards. But yeah, we're going to set these 8 cars out here. Should be enough space. Pretty certain that's enough space. And then that will let the switcher come back in later, run around them, and then go set them out. So that is the plan. And then after that, we will go ahead and get the mogul out of here. And then I'll start getting the passenger train together. I did learn actually that whenever you're having a locomotive sit idle, if you click this cutout button, that makes it not use any more coal or water. It's almost like it gets turned off. And I thought that was extremely cool. So there you can see the dynamo's on. If I cut it out, now the dynamo will probably actually stay on for now, but anyways, it's not going to use any water or coal, which is really great. I did test that over a period of a few hours, and it didn't use any, which was nice. So, considering how much they burn as they sit idle, That's actually a pretty important feature in my opinion, and definitely something you want to use when you're letting your locomotive sit out overnight or sit out in the yard somewhere between duty. Just my 2 cents on that. All right, let's apply that brake. Get that broken apart. I did use the shift button there. As I clicked on that, that unhooks the coupler, closes the angle cocks, but does not disconnect the air hoses. And that's because as I pull away, the air hoses will disconnect themselves. Love it. All right, now it's time to get the mogul and the freight to Bryson out of here. We'll see you guys in just a little bit. All right, we have picked up one freight car from Stenzel, which is ready to go to the East Whittier interchange. Right now what I'm doing is pulling most of my train forward here, and we're going to stop and cut the train because we have a set out to go back on the Ella house track. So we will take that car with us and leave everything else here. And it definitely looks like I pulled those brakes quite a bit too late. Fairly certain that I'm going to overshoot my switch here, but you can see we've got one for the Whittier house track right there, and actually that worked out just fine. We're plenty clear. Let's get a handbrake set. Open that coupler up. The nice thing about this train is this is actually the first time that I am shipping just a freight train. No longer are we running mixed trains. Very excited about that. So as soon as I get this car set back in the house track, I'm going to go ahead and bring up, or rather get the passenger train ready as I send this off to Ella. So we'll kind of run it in stages, and then once this guy gets to Ella, we'll see what we want to do from there. I was thinking about having a meet in Ella, but I realized that actually, since the passenger train will have to stop in Ella, it would make more sense, honestly, to just have this train head on all the way to Bryson, even after switching in Ella, because it's just dropping a couple cars off, and then the passenger train can follow. So that would definitely still be the better routing option, I think. But here's our one pickup from Stenzel, so not bad. I just kind of shoved the whole train back to grab it because he was there at the end, and it was pretty fast, if I'm honest. All right, let's see how these guys are doing. They're loading all right, very good. No passengers, but that's fine. I didn't put anything on the switch list, did I? Well, I've got those on there still. Those need to be taken off because they've already been delivered. Those must be leftovers from yesterday. Okay, yeah. I do need to update my switch list. So let's do that while we're getting the freight train back here. Don't want those, but all of these guys would be good to put on there. All right, perfect. But yeah, I don't need the, actually, yeah, I do need those. Those are not the skeleton cars, which I thought they were. Oop, coming at switch a little fast. I thought those were skeleton cars. They're not. So I will actually put them on my switch list. All right, now that the train is stopped, let's go finish that. Sorry about that. I was thinking that these all were, whatchamacallit, my skeleton cars, but they're already gone, so I should have known better. It's okay. XM is boxcar under the old AAR codes, so should have known, should have known. Dude, where's my payment, man? Oh, I didn't push it far enough, no wonder. Oops. I was gonna say, why didn't I get paid for the set out? Well, that makes sense. Come on, man. Get your crap together. At 2.2 is fine. That is a small spot. Definitely big enough for just one car. And that's fine. It's house track. It's not supposed to get a lot. All right, let's go ahead and do that. And we will get him up to his freight train. All right, I will see you guys over at East Whittier. We're going to start putting the passenger train together. All right, here we are with the 10-wheeler number 2 connected to our, we're going to call it the Palace car. It's not really necessarily a sleeper, but it does at least have some compartments, which are kind of nice. See them from over here. No detail inside really, and that's fine. Not a big deal to me. All right, we are going to put this car at the back of our passenger alignment that we currently have. It is not an observation car, although if you run an observation car at the back specifically of your passenger trains, it does increase all of the fares by 20%, which is quite nice. But that is not why we're putting this one at the back. Eventually, when I do buy an observation car, which I'll probably buy that as soon as I can afford one, or I might take a loan for one, then then we'll go ahead and we'll get that put on the back of the train as well. But that will require us to turn the train at that point anytime we come into a place like Bryson or something in order for it to actually give us the benefits. So that will, slow down the operations a bit. And in Bryson, the Y there does not have enough space to turn the entire train. We can only turn the locomotive. So you never know. I might just not get the benefits, for half the trips until I get to Appalachia. I know that at Appalachia Junction, the Y will be big enough to turn the whole passenger train, so we'll see. But I want to top this off with water because I know it's going to take a bit to get to Bryson. Bryson's kind of far. It's like 6 miles, which, I know that's not super far, all things considered. But this tender is not very big, and I do not want this guy getting stranded out there somewhere in the middle of nowhere where it's not going to do me any good. There's the freight train making its way to Ella, not bad. So 3,400 gallons. Yeah, see, this is part of the reason why we're going to get the bigger 10-wheeler to run this passenger train. All right. See this little caution sign here? That's because I do not have the brake line connected. That also tells you if there is some other problem, like for example, maybe you do have the brake line connected, but maybe you have an ankle cock closed, for example. And so it just lets you know that there's some sort of connectivity issue, but I don't have it connected at all, so it is all good. We are not worried about it. All right, those guys are almost full. That's great. And then we can get this car set out and hooked up as well and load a few more passengers. Let's see. I highly doubt these log cars are loaded, but let's take a look. Yeah, we only got one, so we got time. We have time. Not bad. I definitely want to get an 060 switcher for Bryson as well. Kind of the way I envision running the operations, at least on my railroad, here is to basically any town that has a yard and an engine servicing facility will get a switcher of its own. Pretty much no exception. So, when later on when we build the Dillsboro yard, for example, because I know that's a milestone, once we get the engine service, well, that means we'll be able to put a switcher out there as well. And I'm not sure about some of these other towns yet, if they have other engine servicing facilities. I just don't know because I haven't looked yet and I haven't unlocked them. But if I find out that there are some other towns, maybe like Silva or Andrews or something, that end up with a, engine service, then we'll put a switcher out there as well. So, and then I'll have trains that kind of ferry cars, across the route as needed and work the yards, and we'll mostly, run trains as if they're way freights. And I like that idea. I think it's a good idea. All things considered. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull away from this passenger car. Yes, we are doing a fly switch with a passenger car, and no, I am not concerned about it. I know exactly what I'm doing here, so we are all good. I would laugh if I totally tossed with this locomotive on that switch. Fortunately, I didn't. Alright, we're going to let him ride for a minute. Don't have to worry about him. I do, however, need to worry about this car. Yeah, that stopped way too fast. That's alright. It's probably best that I stop it there anyways. How's number one doing? He stopped for a fusee, that's right. Okay, let's actually go get him. No, let's wait. Yeah, because I've still got to put this guy together. Let me at least get this guy stopped up here, and then we'll go get the freight train sorted out. I think there are 2 setouts in Ella. So we're going to get that off of our train, and then on the return trip, we'll have the freight train actually do the switching in Ella. That's kind of how I like to do it. It works out really well. Alright, well, there's not too much else to see right here for now. We're just going to get our passenger train put together. So what I'll do is I'll cut it for now, and then once the freight train is settled and the passenger train is ready to go, I'll catch you guys back over here in Whittier. Well, here comes our freight train coming into Bryson. This train will go ahead and stop up here. We've got a few Z in the gauge, and then we will work this train. I may or may not put that in this episode, depending on the time here. I definitely want to be a bit more disciplined and keep the episode length down a bit. Not that they're any less interesting. It's just I personally get a little daunted when I see a video that's, you know, an hour long like my last two. I mean, still great videos, of course, and you should watch the whole thing. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and leave this for now and head back to the passenger train. The passenger train is not too far behind. It has completed its station stop in Ella. So let's go see how it's doing. Here it is, still doing good on the water levels. It's about 2/3 capacity passengers. That's not bad. The nice thing about heading to Bryson, most of Bryson is downgrade, and so it actually is easy to run a train to Bryson. It's really hard if you're running a heavy train back towards Whittier. Yes, I did actually, I forgot to mention earlier, but I did basically operate a full day on the road here without recording anything. I just kind of wanted to get a feel for some of the operations that I had planned out, and it worked out really well, which is why I'm videoing them today. But it was yesterday in the game when I was running back towards Whittier that I got the water in the tender down to less than 100 gallons by the time I got to the water tank there by Whittier Depot. So I think I left Bryson with a little over 2,000 gallons maybe, and you know, ate up that many gallons because it was a really heavy train, like 1,200 tons I think. And it was upgrade all the way, so just wore that mogul out. But you know what? It did fine. Also, I was looking at the prices for this locomotive, and I could sell it for about $5,200. And so if I make just another $1,000 today, I will have enough money to sell this guy and buy the larger 10-wheeler tomorrow, which I'll definitely make that much because I'm going to run, you know, 2 cuts of log cars, so that'll be another $2,600. So it'll be good. We'll have plenty of money to get the 10-wheeler, and then I can either pay some of the loan down, which I might do, or I can try to extend the loan and get a 4th passenger car. For me, it really depends on once I get these passenger cars loaded here in Bryson. It's going to depend on how many people get on them there. If I get a lot of people in Bryson and I realize I need another car, then I'll go ahead and buy a 4th one. Go ahead and buy that observation car, but we'll see. I'm not sure yet. I think long term I'll use the short 19th century passenger car along with a couple others just like it. I'll use those on the Appalachia branch, and I'll use these you know, parlor heavyweights and this coach car, the steel coach, the lightweight. I'll use those on the main line here just because they have the vestibules more like what do you expect on a mainline train. So here we are coming into Bryson proper. Pretty sure by this point the logging train is ready to be loaded. As soon as we get this train stopped at the station, I will go check and we'll see. Looks like they're missing a road bridge there. I'm sure they'll get that in at some point. As you can see, I have not worked that freight train yet. It's cool by me. Definitely enjoyed watching this guy a little bit. Here we go. Fantastic. Definitely looking forward to them adding some features to the AI so we can make it stop at stations on its own without fusees. That would be fantastic. And I've heard that stuff like that and other expanded options are planned for AI, so that would be really good in the future. All right, let's get these guys marked up. Copy it to them. All right, and then they will load and unload. We'll turn the locomotive here in a minute. Not too worried about that right this second. Let's go check on the logging train over here at Connolly Creek. Yep, he's ready. All right, get him in reverse. Let's see, I gotta throw a switch against him so he'll stop. Actually, I think I'll use a fusee. Yeah, that worked better last time when I used a fusee. So he'll pull in here, that's good. If I throw that switch, he'll stop, but he stops a little too close. So let's just put a fusee right there. And then I know that he'll stop just where he needs to. All right, let's see. Let's get back over to Bryson. Let's get with number 1. And let's take a look. So this guy's going to the coal depot. That means we need to get around him, which we can. He'll get shoved right up there. Not the coal depot, sorry, coal tipple. We can actually use that track right there to get around him. Let's see, the freight house. Yeah, those are both going to go there. Okay. Yeah, in fact, actually, we need to get around the whole train. So you know what? We'll just do that. We'll just get around the whole train. Sounds good. All right, manual it is. Let's back it up just to clear the switch. I will definitely be filling up this guy with water. All right. Fantastic. And around we go. Definitely not going to use this track because that's going to make us go all the way to the east end of Bryson, sorry. And that's the east end as far as the railroad is concerned. I think it actually would be the north end. Oh, no, yeah, that's east. That's east enough. Assuming that the top of the map is north, which I would be very surprised if it wasn't. Ooh, that switch is sharp. We won't take that switch too fast. That would not be good. Probably don't want to take that more than 15 ever. All right, let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and shove and get the coal car set out because then we'll need to back here to get the cars at the freight house. I think that's a good order of operations. Ha! Must be a math person. Then we've got 2 set outs at Andrews. I think there's a pickup over there. I know there's a pickup at the bridge site, and then the rest of these are set out to the bridge site, and then that's it for Bryson. Light work today. All right, I'll see you guys over at the coal tipple in just a minute. All right, here we come into the coaling tower. It does technically have, I think, 38 tons. Yeah. Whew, this will give it more than enough over time. Let's go ahead and get our train under control, though, speed-wise. I definitely don't want to smack this guy against the end here. Yeah, he is in position. Oops. That's all right. That actually wasn't too bad. All right, let's open the hatches here. There we go. It is unloading a bit. That's good. There it is. So I guess 38 tons is the max. That's fine. That's fine. We got quite a bit of time before we'll need to refuel that hopper, so that's good. All right, and bringing it on back. Pretty sure I unhooked those. Yeah. Perfect. Except it didn't get that I wanted that closed. That's weird. It didn't on that one either. I guess I didn't hold shift hard enough. Ha! Funny. There we go. That's all right. That is all right. All right. Let's bring it back here. I need to throw this switch. Head down the ladder. Perfect. All right. Well, time-wise, I think we've done enough today. So for the next episode, we'll pick up right here where we're leaving off, and we'll get some more switching done. But this has been loads of fun. Welcome to episode 6. Thanks for watching. Today we kind of got to see our first bit of passengers, and you can see that we are actually all filled up and ready to head back to the west. Or east rather, sorry. So thanks as always. Look forward to seeing you guys on the next one, and I will catch you around. See you later.